Yo, welcome to another episode of the Larry Ohh Show. As always, got my co-host to the left of me.
What's going on, y'all? It's John Phelps.
And I'm Larry Ohh. Welcome to the podcast. This is where we talk about everything FL Studio and music production related. Every single week, we have a giant giveaway where I give away every single one of my FL Studio and production courses from YouHelpMe.com. To enter that giveaway, just comment the keyword or the key phrase that you hear in this episode, somewhere in this episode. We're not going to tell you where or when it's going to happen. You jot it down in the comments. 5 people every single week win every single one of my courses, again, from YouHelpMe.com.
Run on over to the comments. Let us know you listening.
Shout out to everybody that's been commenting, that's been like giving us suggestions, and last few episodes have been doing really, really well. Notes have been taken mentally. That's like stuff that you guys love to see and hear about. By the way, FL, just to preface this episode real quick before we like really deep dive into it, 24.2 is officially 100% out right now. FL Studio dropped their video on it as always. All the updates are in there. It's everything that we've talked about here already, so I won't go over that again. I just want to let you guys know. Go and download the full version. If you were one of the people that didn't really want to get into beta or didn't want to get into the release candidates and all that stuff, the full version is now out. Just go to imageline.com, download it, and log into your account, and you're good to go. So yeah, the theme of this episode is, as you could have seen by the title or the thumbnail, is AI in music. I know it's been talked about a lot. There's a ton of different, it seems like especially now we're in Black Friday, Cyber Monday, end of year, holiday sales and all that stuff. And every single company is coming out with an AI plugin or has an AI plugin, and everybody's using the AI term. But it's hard to like kind of sift through what's real AI, what's ethical AI in a sense, because there is like some true AI out there that a lot of people say is maybe not so ethical in the sense of creating music and paying people that worked on the stuff that they're pulling the information from. That's where a lot of that stuff comes into play, especially with different sites out there. But I really wanted to talk about like what we think about AI in music. Obviously, we're familiar with FL Studio implementing some AI stuff or automatic stuff. It's hard, like I said, to decipher sometimes AI versus algorithmic in a sense. I mean, I guess algorithm is in a sense some sort of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, for sure. I think this kind of like rebooting of the AI, if you will, it's kind of picking on like what's interesting about how it's coming out now with AI is like it's an aesthetic now.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just like something happening in the background, and if you were privy to it, right, you would be aware, oh, that's like artificial intelligence, AI, like algorithmic learning and stuff like that. Whereas now with the advent of AI art, you're seeing like an entire aesthetic that develops. And, you know, the aesthetic is what it is. I don't necessarily like it that much. I think it's whatever. You know, I think you're talking about an image generated by prompt. It's going to have to kind of look like the way that it looks. And I don't think it's that great looking, but the tools themselves are very useful for all kinds of like, you know, prompt learning and, you know, developing that kind of skill. And I think as a producer, there are a lot of really interesting tools that are coming out, and the biggest thing is like the ethical sourcing of the stuff is like huge. I think, you know,
there's a handful of sites out there, and we'll get into this too. There's one specific one that reached out, and I've been working with here and there. I haven't really posted much about it. I really think it's a dope company. We'll get into that in a few, and I really think what they're doing is ethical. It's great for producers. Some people may argue it. Some people might say it's not. I think it's great. A lot of these tools that come out are really good for production and producers. They're not going to replace producers. They are here, and they are made by people, other producers that wish they had something like this. You know what I mean? Like there's a handful of companies that do that, and you've seen either here or on my Instagram, the companies that I showcase on my channels, I believe in, I think are great for producers, or else I wouldn't talk about them. So I think in music, I think like I'll say it till I'm like blue in the face. Like AI is just another tool, and people get scared by that term AI. But I think the tools that we have and that are coming out now, a good amount of them, the ones that we showcase, we talk about, I think are great for producers. If it can help you learn, if it can help you be better and faster, why not use it? It's the same argument for the DAW. There was that talk back then where this computer program is coming out and you're going to be able to make music on it without knowing an instrument, not realizing that that is the instrument. You get what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
So the same goes for AI stuff. I feel like that's the same idea. That's the same mindset we should have going into AI.
Yeah. I think with with some of like the software, like the one that we're gonna talk about today, Kits. I think that it's really a powerful machine, and I personally think that like what I was able to do through the Kits.ai, interface and all that was pretty impressive, pretty powerful. I could see where it would be useful for all kinds of different stages in your production process. I mean, I didn't use it for like any serious like production stuff, but some of the, making instrumentals, isolating vocals, that kind of capability.
Well, we're gonna get into it.
Extremely useful.
It's crazy. There's some crazy stuff. And I hit you up earlier knowing that we're going to talk about this. It's the one I'm getting a little bit better at planning episodes today. We talked about it maybe a few hours before the podcast versus like a few minutes before the podcast starts. So I think by next week it'll maybe be the day before, and then we'll come up with a concept the day before. But so we got this song from your boy John Phelps.
Hello.
This is what we're going to be using to go ahead and use Kits.ai. John said it, but the site we're talking about is Kits.ai. I'll show you that in 1 second. We're just going to give a listen to the song that he sent real quick, and then we're going to use this as the tool inside of Kits. Let me go to song mode. That'll help. You're playing guitar?
Yeah.
Nice. What'd you use for drums?
Just some MIDI drums, I think.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
that's a vibe, bro.
Yeah, thank you, sir. them drums, like the thing is with the drums, right? It's all feel. And I've seen you do this in the studio before, like when you're programming your drums, trying to like tap it out, like you're playing it yourself. Because there's like this old meme where it's like, when the guitarist comes with a drum part.
Yeah. Yeah, they're playing the drums like they would play a guitar in a sense. Like,
so it's like you try to, try to do it like how
which almost it's like the opposite for me, because I started out making beats. So the first instrument I ever played was FL Studio, right? and then I played drums after that, which learning FL Studio and learning how to produce and make beats and know what a 4 count is and where the snares hit helped me learn how to play drums a little bit faster at an older age, because I think I was like 21 when I started learning how to play the drums. Like that's old. You know what I mean? To like learn how to play drums for the first time, that's kind of old. So like
your 7-year-olds killing it on IG.
Yeah, because their brains aren't locked into like left-handed, right-handed, and they're not. Your brain's not like 100% locked into that. So at an older age, it is, and it's way harder to break that and have your limbs doing different things. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah,
should have played drums.
But yeah, it like, all right, going back to it was the opposite for me, where I was really, and I still am, like really drum heavy with everything. And if there's one part that I lack in, and it's like the from scratch melody creation side of things. Like my rhythm sections, I feel are always good. The low ends, like really good. My sampling is on point. And if there's one spot where I lack, it's like the melody creation side of things. So it was like the opposite for me. There are a lot of people might come in the other way. A lot of people might relate with that. But so segue into what we were talking about earlier. This is the website where I think is one of the greatest AI tools that I found in a long time, Kits.ai. So if you're not familiar with Kits.ai, you might be already. If you're familiar with Kits.ai, what it does basically is a whole bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean,
my God.
and we're gonna get into it because I felt like it just like something like this needs to be showcased because there's so many dope things about it.
For sure.
But the main reason I like gravitated towards it and what I like to really use it for is the voice conversion. So right here, right at the top, and I think that's why they put it up at the top. It's what they really love to focus on the most. It's converting vocals. So essentially you could take a vocal, any vocal, drop it in there. It will learn it. It will analyze it, right? And you can convert that into any other kind of vocal that they have in their list of vocals. So essentially, if you want a female energetic Spanish singing, like, so you could do different languages on top of it.
That's it.
And you can demo
Quiero
them.
ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo.
And if you want it, I feel like I feel like I did it just to mess around with it. I could take a vocal that's not in Spanish, put it in this. It's not going to sing it in Spanish, but it'll have her vocal tones and inflections and maybe even the accent as
spice.
well. Yeah. You got like female pop country.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move.
I think you really want me.
Male emo pop.
Oh, boy.
How do they generate these lyrics?
I don't think
yo?
that's that's a real song. That's a real song. Somebody just sang it, and and somebody's really singing that vocal right there.
Yeah.
But what happens is the AI is going to take that vocal and turn whatever you put in there into that vocal. But that's where the ethical part comes in. That's a real person singing that.
Yo.
That is essentially going to get paid by anybody that signs into the site and essentially uses these voices.
So basically, you can feed it your original content, and it'll kind of use these templates to treat the sound waves. Somehow.
Yeah, so like
it'll make
that
it
vocal right there.
a different vibe.
Yeah, so say like for instance, any one of these vocals, as far as I'm concerned, it's been sung by a real singer. But but that real singer's voice is analyzed by their AI. Their AI isn't the vocal. Their AI is the technology behind it that can convert one into another. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So that's why. And then on the back end, all these people that have sung these vocals, which is again to my point where it says community vocals, you or me can upload our vocals that we put into the system if we want to. These are all users. So this is just some guy right here that, that's been on the site. Yeah. Some guy that's been on the site for a while. He put his voice in here. He went through, and I think you can train your voice in here, right? Where you go to My Voices, you can have your own voice trained in there as well. And then you could have it in here. So I think it says to upload like 5 to 10 minutes of your voice, which it's kind of hard to get. The way I did it at my home studio is I put a fucking podcast clip in there, bro. Like I put a whole straight podcast clip.
There you go.
Like I don't even know, 20 minutes or 30 minutes of me and you, I think. Or maybe I just took like a chunk of mine, and it was crazy how I analyzed it. I took that and then I converted it into like a British accent.
Oh damn.
But it's me, but with a British accent. And it was
We
me
gotta
saying,
find that.
Yeah, it was me talking.
Fizzy Wiggets.
Yo, it's so
Yo.
it's so wild.
Chips and beans.
So like, I mean, let's give it a little bit of use case, right? So we have your full song, and what I can do, let's go to the stem splitter, because like I said, there's a bunch of different things in here. We're gonna work our way into the conversion stuff, right?
Okay.
So we'll go into the stem splitter, and then I'll drag and drop your song into it. Let's see if I can do this. Not gonna want to drag out of here, huh? Let me just go to add or drop
Easy
a file.
way or the hard way.
Yep. Also, it's gonna give us the key and the BPM. There's a key and BPM finder in here as well, and that's gonna give it to us over here. So it's kind of like an all-in-one thing when you go to the stem splitter. B minor at 135. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right.
135? Did you do it at 135?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So as far as I've done it with this, it's been super accurate.
Yeah.
You could do AI mastering. We won't get into this because like I said, I think the conversion stuff is like crazy. AI mastering, I haven't messed with it too much. The vocal remover, self-explanatory. I think it's like the stem splitter option, but you have a little bit more options that you can go into with that. So say we went to real quick, I'll just show you what you can do to it. You can remove the instrumental. You can remove the backing vocals, which I've never seen another app, AI or non-AI. I've never seen anybody else be able to do that before. That's pretty wild to me. And remove reverb. That's what I think I want to do with yours because I noticed that you have heavy reverb on yours. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to do that. Let's go back to the stem splitter. I think I have to re-upload it. Oh, no, it already separated them.
Come on.
Dry shampoo Merc mix? No, this is something that you already did. Merc?
Yeah, that's it.
What's dry shampoo? Something you did?
Oh, yeah. That's the one that I was.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm just going to load his back in there. I thought it was his, and then I looked down. I was like, that's not his.
That would have been crazy if it was doing that in the background, too.
Yeah.
You might have to press.
You have to hit split. Yeah. All right.
And it takes a few minutes, but it's.
Does it?
Yeah,
well, it's the full song. They usually are not that. Any stem splitter that I've used in the past, it'll take a few minutes, especially with a song at this length. What's the length of the song? Like 2.5. So it's gonna take a couple. Where I find it, where sometimes if I know I only want like a specific spot split, say if I want to sample something, bro, stem splitting has been huge lately for me. I don't know why. I've been getting demos from people that want to have me make like a custom beat. Mm-hmm. And I've done this with you. I think I've done it. I know I've done it with Piffin. I do it with my boy Phelps Alias. They'll record on a beat that they know they're not going to want to use, but they know it's the vibe. They'll record on it, record a full demo. It just speeds the process up. I'll take that demo and then I will, a lot of times, if I'm trying to really hone in on the chord progression, because a lot of times if somebody's singing, that chord progression is very important. Yeah. And if you mess that up and you start doing other stuff, it throws it off. So if there's one thing that kind of has to go, it's just the basic background, like backing chord progression, right? And I want to hone in on it. I'll stem split and I'll get just the melodic stuff in one, and I can hear everything. Like and it takes 2 seconds, and I can get the bass line in the chord progression, and then from there, it's like I can fly through it.
And what's going into like kind of this theme of AI making things easier, it's like I remember back in the day when you would do things like remakes and remixes and all that, you would download the MIDI and you would convert the MIDI.
That was my cheat sheet, bro.
That was your cheat sheet.
Oh, I love doing that.
But now there's another way that you can maybe approach that if you choose to, right? Yep. And that's that you can get the stems separated out, and before you know it, you do have the different components. And you can be like, these are the drums that I want, but I want to swap out the melodies, you know?
Yep. We got the stems. I think it was pretty quick. I didn't even realize it stopped.
Time flies.
Yeah. So we got these. Let's download those real quick.
And what I thought was immediately valuable about this like Kits.ai plugin is that it's as an artist and all that, you want to have performance tracks for your shows and things, so you can now download all your stems and have those available for all your shows. So if you want backing tracks, if you want all that sort of stuff, you now have so much control over those different components. And on top of that, or you keep it simple, just take your vocals out of the mix completely and perform over that. And as far as I could tell, it wasn't like cutting off any noticeable amount of the quality of the song or anything. It's very powerful.
I'm still having the same issue dragging sounds into
FL.
FL.
We've been running into this issue here with the VLC.
Yeah, it's something with the VLC player, but I found this workaround, so let me just do it real quick.
If it ain't broke, don't break it.
And then it's right here. So we got bass. We got drums. Ooh, it sounds like it's clean already. Ooh, it sounds super clean. All right, let me mute this guy. This is the main one.
And now you got isolates, bro.
Yeah, let's listen to the drums by themselves. A little guitar that bled through, but it sounds dope. Sometimes the stems just give you a different idea too. Clean.
So it's a little warbly, you know, like there is some quality loss, which is if you're performing it live and maybe it's not like the end of the world that the quality's not all there, then that's not too bad.
A lot of times if you play them all together though, you'll hear that.
Just trying to find out where we belong.
like together, the quality is there, but some things get removed and are left in another one. But that goes for every single stem splitter that I've used to date. But let's stick on the vocals.
Just trying to find out where we belong.
I also didn't do him any favors with this recording because it's super lo-fi. I was just.
I know you're gonna make it hard. So like what I was saying is why I like Kits is that I can go in here, and what we can do is we can go back to this vocal remover. All right, so the vocal's here, and then what we could do is we can go to remove reverb. Because when we do any conversions, any sort of like vocal conversions, the reverb can mess with it. And I hear it sometimes. It doesn't sound like too crazy, and I'll leave it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But I just want to show how cool this is. Remove reverb. Also, just wanted to hop in and let you guys know that myself, Limbo, and the staff over at Kits.ai are putting together a huge free sample pack with over 200 royalty-free samples using Kits.ai. It's going to include vocal samples, drums, harmonies, one-shots, and so much more. That is dropping on Monday, December 9th, so stay tuned, come back to this video, and there will be a link in the description. I'll also post it on social media as well, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be massive. And then extract a dry vocal from a vocal stem that has reverb. So I'm hoping that this works the way I want it to work, because it is a stem already, and it doesn't try to just remove it. You know what I mean? Because it's just an acapella by itself.
Right. I'm curious to see if it'll just like strip everything.
Yeah,
just like
we'll
an
see.
empty file. Vocal remover. You gave me a vocal, so I'm not playing anymore, right?
I don't. Ooh, look at that. It gives you the reverb in its own track too, bro. What?
Where we belong.
Very lo-fi.
Trying to let go.
The delay's still there.
Interesting.
What kind of effects did you put on your vocal? It sounds like they are like low, like high passed.
I just like lower. I just did a bunch of takes and probably panned them.
Yep.
And then I put reverb and delay and didn't really worry about like.
'Cause they sounded like thin, even like the original. Like it sounds like
And now I'm breaking down.
well, there's some low end in
Cause I
there.
need it that way.
Like they don't sound too
I
thin.
didn't high pass them the main vocals, but I did have a bunch of layers in there where I did pull the low end out. You know what I'm saying? But it's all just like, I was just stacking vocals. That was kind of the name of the game with this one. It was like, it's going to be muddy.
Gotcha.
It's going to sound lo-fi and all that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Let's go to convert vocals. That's the beef and potatoes here on Kits.ai that I love. So convert vocals. If we want to, let's take that vocal from you and how do you want to hear yourself? Let's drop one in. But we can add it as a layer in the background. So let's say like that's what I love using this
Some
stuff for.
female accompaniment.
So say like you want a female background singer on your vocals.
Pull up.
This is I mean it's 3 a.m. and you're like I can't call somebody to come over here right now.
Well, I might.
All right, so this thing's in here. You can install the I didn't even realize this. I've been using it on the browser the whole time. You get Kits.ai desktop app for the fastest Kits workflow. Wow, that's the fastest way to do it?
Come on.
Featuring
brother.
drag and drop integrations with your favorite DAWs. I haven't even been using it the best way. It's still fire to me. So you got the vocal in there, and you just choose a vocal. So we can hit the plus button here. What are you thinking? What do you want to go for?
I think that Taylor Swift looking chick would probably do
This
well on
pop
this
country?
track. I think she would
All right.
hold her own.
So, and it's
female lo-fi. How about
female.
her? No, yeah, her with the short hair.
That makes sense. You want to give it a listen?
Her with the short hair.
Feel as empty as
Oh yeah, she'll kill it.
All right.
Yeah, bring her
Let's
in.
try it. Hopefully, because there's so many effects on this vocal, it does it justice.
Yep.
I think it should. So what happens when you pick that vocal? Oh, hold on. You can layer. All right. So this is the other thing too.
Snap.
By the way, you can layer these, and
That's
it'll.
crazy.
So I did that by mistake. But again, you just keep hitting this plus button, and I could add a male on here if I wanted to. I can add if there's a male lo-fi ish or a male But we'll just keep it with one, so you know that you can layer these as well.
Right. You could get a whole "We Are the World"
Crazy.
type situation.
Yeah, bro.
going on.
I mean, you can go into the harmony section. That's what I wanted to get to as well. You can go to the harmony section and create a harmony stack with like 5 different layers of any kinds of vocals that you want.
Yeah.
And then it also will tell you, like, see right here how it says good? It knows the range of yours and versus the range of the vocal that somebody sang into the AI.
Right.
That's where it comes into play, where once I seen that, I realized too, like, all right, these are real vocals that somebody sang and they only have a certain range. So it also, like, it tells you, like, kind of like what their range is, and it tells you, like, what they're about. See the pitch range? F sharp 3 to B4, high. So it's going to give you the range. So that way you can kind of tell, like, what your vocal or whatever vocal that you're trying to drop in there, if it's going to match up to it. This one says good. If it says bad, you can go ahead and you can mess with the semitones on here to make it into the good range, or the, I think that's, I forget what the other, it's like red, yellow, green, and like maybe very good is one more up. But you can add pitch correction if you want. If you know the key, you want to add pitch correction, you can leave it on auto just by keeping that. We're not gonna add any pitch correction. You can also, here's another thing. So we can de-reverb and delay from here as well. This is where I think it would end up being a little bit cleaner and a little bit better. But you can also de-harmonize it. The technology's wild,
Got
bro.
a lot going on, man.
Lot going on in here. When you look at the interface, it seems like there's not too much going on. But like once you start really diving into this and you just open folder upon folder upon folder,
Right.
there's so many little details that you can go by. Conversion effects. Adjust the output audio for instant release ready sound. Auto EQ. I'll just leave that on auto, but you can widen it. You can add a compressor, reverb, and delay. Auto EQ profile, leave it on balanced, or you can choose warm, bright, match input. Let's match input. Strength. You could turn that up. We'll leave that on 50. Advanced conversion settings. Accent strength. If the AI vocal has an accent, you can turn that down or turn that up. I'll leave it on subtle. Volume blend. Increase to convert the volume of your input audio to the volume AM model. That's self-explanatory pretty much. And then you can just hit convert. And then this might take a minute because, again, this is the full vocal length
The full thing.
of the entire song.
Can you imagine how crazy this is going to be when you're able to like live audition these tweaks as you make them?
I know.
It's going to be bonkers. This is in beta. This is in beta mode. So
For me, it's even wild that it's this quick because, I mean, just think about what it's doing. It's doing like, you know, it's analyzing you. It's analyzing that. I can't even imagine what it's doing on the back end, but it's almost done. It doesn't even take that long, to be honest. I mean, that's a 2.5 minute vocal right there.
yeah.
And we selected D-reverb and D-delay.
I'd say it takes longer to go through all the different kind of like drop downs that you might want to toggle. The AI could possibly improve by like smart matching settings. That could be crazy. Live auditioning, like, you know, being able to play stuff back like as you go through the list would be like nuts. But this is so cool that this is only in beta and it's already so powerful.
Yep, and they just keep adding new things too. There's one thing that he the guy over there told me, Josh. He said, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. There's something that he wanted me to mention.
What up, Josh?
A quick shout out that we're slowly moving from voice to voice conversion to high quality, ethically trained features in the voice synthesis and generative music domains. I don't even know where to go to look for that.
I don't even know what that means.
So moving from voice to voice conversion to high quality, ethically trained features. Fire.
Sounds great.
We got a conversion. Let me see.
Fall down, query the Lord and
Oh hell no, she ain't gonna know. She ain't gonna know what I said. I said it with too much style. That's the problem.
We got to try a drier vocal. That's what it is.
Drop her.
I bet you if you let me drop it in.
Layer it down in the pocket. She'll probably sound all right. You know what I'm
Add to
saying?
my downloads. Okay.
I have
to,
that.
yeah, so to download that, you hit the little plus button, add to my downloads. I'm going to put it on the desktop, but I might run into that same issue. But I'm going to drop it in. Let me go.
See, I said it with too much style. That's the problem. Instagram captions get me fucked up too because they don't know, you know. They don't know
Oh yeah, you got to go in
flavor,
and
bro.
change like that's. I mean, that's AI. It's a slang thing. Like
Because I'll
sometimes
say
it-
style and it'll be like stall. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yep.
or I'll say tied. And it'll be tied.
I'm tired.
I'm tied.
Let me see where this vocal just went.
Yo, one of these days we should make a bonk type beat. Like, you know that bonk sound effect? We should
Yeah.
make a beat just with the bonk. You know what I'm talking about. Or the
Bonk.
chomp. The chomp sound effect might be funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I think something like this. Obviously, your vocal was crazy effects heavy, like heavy. They really suggest dry. Any AI, anything that's like this, any type of conversion, splitting type of technology, they really suggest a dry vocal. But I still think in this case, it's gonna sound good, layered and kind of tucked in there.
Just trying to find out where we belong. Trying to let go.
What I
She's
like
good
to do,
on like the 1 and the 3 sound really
Yeah.
good, you know?
Just trying to find out where we belong.
again, the vocals heavy, like wet.
But I ain't that strong.
I think it sounds good, like with the layers,
Just trying to find out
with the guitar in there.
where we belong. Trying to let go. But I ain't that strong. And now I'm breaking down.
That's not
Because I
something.
need it that way.
Hey, that one's clean.
And now I'm breaking down. Because I need it that way. And now the loudest voices, all the things I don't say. We're sinking in the deep end, trying to kill you, but you're sleeping. Tilt your head out the window for the full view. These days blur together when we sleep. You come alive just to howl like the fool.
That's one reason why, and one just way that I love using, like AI stuff like this. When I use the main reason, the main thing that I've been using Kits for lately is like this sort of stuff. I'll take a vocal, and I think it needs like some harmonies or some layers, like maybe a female, like especially like somebody asked if I could throw like a female vocal on there with this because they know I was messing with this a little bit. And I used it in this exact way. And not every single piece, maybe just like a pre-chorus and the hook, or maybe just the hook, or maybe just like every once in a while where you know there's like a big stack of vocals and you want to create some harmony or just like a stacked section.
Yeah.
And then you can get maybe 2 different female vocals that are different in tone and convert those. But definitely go for like a dry sounding vocal.
Yeah.
For instance,
The cleaner you can send it in, the better it's gonna be able to print out.
yeah. So the way I've been doing some of this too is if I find something in Cloud or whatever, I think I went in here and I would type in just vocal. There's a lot of dry stuff. By the way, side note, the Cloud looks better, looks different.
Yeah, it does.
They changed some things up in here. They added like this new button. I think that the trending thing, I think this is new. I think it's new. It looks different. The font, something looks different in here. But I just want to get a dry vocal quick.
Real quick.
Yeah. Go
Let's
for
do
it.
this little key phrase. All right. Are you listening?
I'm going to leave this on MSX Audio sample. This is so fire, but go ahead.
The keyword for this week's episode of the Larry Ohh Show is kits. So run on over to the comments section on YouTube and drop it in the comments. Kits, y'all. And bonus points if you use it in a sentence and it makes us laugh.
Yeah.
So run on over. Keep listening to the podcast. We jumping right back in.
Yep. And by the way, 5 people that comment, kits are going to win every single one of my FL Studio courses and production courses from youhelpme.com.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Get on it.
I'm just trying to find a vocal here. I want to use that sample so bad, by the way. Oh, this one. This one.
Shit's crazy.
This
I
one.
like that.
Woo! This is the one right here. This is a crazy vocal chop. So let's say if I want to like...
What you say?
That's what it reminds me of. Oh my God.
That's so sick.
Wow. All right, so let's go to
What
Kits
you
real quick.
say?
That's what it reminds me of. It's so good.
Have you seen her NPR performance, bro? She
No.
performs with these like gloves that like they
Who
send.
is it? Who is it?
Imogen Heap, I think is her name. How it goes, and she has these gloves that they put effects on her voice as she sings.
My bad. I'm trying to drag it out. My bad.
So as she'll go like wave her hand, as she'll go like she'll be like wee, and it'll create a delay trail off of her
What?
vocal live.
I gotta see that, bro.
NPR Tiny Desk.
I love those.
Imogen Heap.
I love those
Hey,
those
yo.
tiny desks.
Imogen Heap, return my call.
It's so weird that I can't like drag anything out of FL right now. But let me see. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna take this vocal,
I'll read the entire message. I
drop it in here, and we're gonna convert this. So we got-
Hell yeah.
So, my bad. Go back to convert. And then we can, again, convert that into anything. Let's do the female warm pop.
Anything? Anything.
Anything. And it's already, it says great. So that's what the other thing was. I'll leave all the other settings there. But just to show you like how a dry vocal is probably the best way to go about this. Fire. And like I said, while that's doing that, like you could go in here and you can create your own voice. So what you do is professional voice cloning. This is what I was saying earlier about like putting your own vocal in there.
Yeah.
The highest quality and most accurate voice cloning for your own audio data set.
Right.
You can drag and drop your vocal in here. This is where it explains to you how to go about it, how to do get all the details in there. You want something that's 15 minutes of target audio, one voice only, no effects or instruments, variety of content, don't copy and paste, focus on quality. One voice. Harmonies, you want one voice in here. Nothing with harmonies, nothing with background vocals.
Damn.
And again, this is to train your own voice. So if you want your voice in there, this is what you want. Aside from all the things that we've been going through, like I said earlier, where it said community voices, where people that have that are on this platform upload their own voice. So again, you drag and drop here. I'm not going to do this because I did this in a previous video before. I did this in I did this on my own at the home studio, and I put a podcast clip in here, and it takes a while. It takes like hours.
Oh shit.
That's how crazy it is. Like how it learns it. It takes hours to learn and analyze your voice. So obviously we don't have enough time here for this, but this is something that's really dope to me, and you can just use your voice for other things, various things in the future.
Right. You could like transcribe a whole thing and just have it read out loud. If you're not a strong reader.
That's the crazy thing. So I mean, you get into some wild
If
stuff.
you're not a strong reader, you can
because
plug
you can
this
go
in.
text to voice. So again, let's say you create your own voice, right? You put your voice in here. Let's say you are, I mean, this is probably a really niche down type of thing, but podcasting or maybe an audiobook. Maybe you've written a book. Maybe somebody you know has written a book and you want to do an audio version of that, and you have your own voice. You clone your voice. Then you can go to convert vocals, and you can essentially like. So you know how we've been doing is dragging in audio like this. You can do text to speech. So you choose text to speech, and you can write whatever you want. If you have a script that you've created or that you've written, you put the script in there. Choose your voice, right? When you go to choose voices, choose your voice that you analyzed, and then you can convert all of that text into your voice, and then you just read your entire book and made an audio book in minutes or hours, depending on how long that is.
So if you hear either of us saying anything crazy, it was AI.
It was AI.
It was AI.
That's how you know, like, how you hear these songs and you're like, damn, like, Drake, is that song AI? Did this song that Kendrick drop, is that AI? it's getting to that point where it's crazy because you can analyze any voice that you put through these technologies.
So lead it and rise. Be ready, Johnny. Go let on and bright. Be ready, John. Go lead it and rise.
Clean.
Be ready, Johnny. Go let on and bright. Be ready, John.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's fire.
So let's say we download that, and then you drop that onto the desktop, and then NFL. I'm gonna have to go to the desktop, and
Nice
then
little workaround.
probably have to refresh this because it's Windows. This one, the later time, and then here we have it, a nice layer.
Low lead it and rise. Be ready, Johnny. Go let on and bright. Be ready, John. Go lead
That's so
it
sick.
and rise.
And then I love to do just wacky stuff. Maybe high pitch it. Or just stereo delay it. That almost like hit like on a beat. What is that called? Like syncopation? If I can mix that right, it could almost be like a syncopated type of thing where it could work. That's what's crazy, bro. I just love messing with audio again. I can't say it enough.
Yo, Audio Gang for real.
Audio gang for real.
If
FL
you on-
gang,
if
audio
you-
gang.
If you on MIDI Gang, you can join up on our side. We're still taking people on this side. You know what I'm
For real.
saying? We're still taking people. We won't forget that you used to be MIDI Gang. But it's all about audio for the manipulation.
But I think, I mean, we got through like the chunk of what Kits.ai can offer, Kits.ai can offer.
Oh, yeah.
I think, again, try it out for yourself. There's gonna be a link down in the description below with, I believe, a discount code. So click that link down in the description. Try out Kits.ai for yourself. It's an amazing tool. As you can see, if you watch this full episode to this point, you could see how crazy it is. There's stuff that I haven't even really had the time to get into because we're doing the podcast and stuff, but I want to just stress, try new things. Try AI. Don't be scared of AI. Use them as tools. Don't be nervous. Don't think it's going to take your jobs because guess what? They're going to be here regardless, whether you say that or not, whether you feel that way or not.
Right.
So you might as well embrace it. You're going to start using these as tools.
Pick it up. Yeah, pick it up. That's how you keep your job too, by the way.
Yep. Pick it up and be the best at converting whatever it is, converting your voice to AI. Be the best at utilizing these tools because people are going to go to you for that.
Right.
At
The
a
only
certain
way
point.
that it takes your job is if you stop doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. We're in a little bit overtime today. Please, if you haven't, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And as always, share this with a friend if
You get me.
you get me.
Fuck that one.